What is up, podheads? Back with another episode of the Audio Slate podcast. My name is Tony, joined as always by Anthony and Nate, Nate and Anthony and Nate again, and then Nate and Anthony again.
Who's first? Who's second? Who's on first? Nate, how are you? I'm asking you. How are you tonight?
I'm laughing because of our pre-on-air banter of like old school Maine. For whatever reason, just random.
And it might make it to the secret song if you listen to the end of the episode. So there's a tease.
Hey, let's make that known. If this is your first time listening to us, which I can't imagine you would have picked this episode, but there are hidden tracks in most, I'd say the last 50 episodes.
Yeah,
maybe.
There's a lot. Anytime I find something funny that I can either replay at the end or was part of a recording chat, like with Static Lullaby, where they told us we sounded, what did we sound, juicy or spicy? I can't even remember, but it was great. I threw that at the end. Anytime there's something fun, it goes to the end. And anytime you hear one of us sing, it goes to the end.
And so if you're a regular listener, yeah, those exist. Go listen to the episode again. I don't care if you just listen to the end. Support the scan. Get the numbers out. There's a numbers game, people.
While you're sleeping, put us on and just let it run. Just let it rock.
Yeah. It's like those, what do they call them? Like the farms where like there's just like a pencil just like in rotation.
Click farm, yeah.
Yeah, Click Farm. Just have some of those going for us. We need it.
We don't need Click Farm. No, we want real heads, real music nerds listening to us, whether they're asleep or not or paying attention. Beside the point, but real music heads all day.
Hey, a gold record's a gold record. No one even knows for those gold records if people even listen to the album, just as long as you bought it.
Yeah, just subscribe.
They're shipped, right? Unit shipped.
Yeah, unit shipped. Exactly.
Yep.
Like, is it a CD someone got at a remote event like me? What was it we were talking about? Where I got this.
A lot of your stuff. Yeah.
Our Lady Peace CD with the compliments of WCYY on the cover. Did that go gold?
Now I got to put the WCYY sound in. Here it is.
Portland's new rock alternative. It's 94 WCYY.
All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program. I did save that so that it's easier for me to cut every time. But shout out to Rob for joining us one more time.
So another mailbag up tonight. I think this will be the fourth one.
Yeah, we've been like once a year since we started, fourth or fifth.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes.
Attack of the Mailbag? What are we naming it? Return of the Mailbag?
These are fun because we don't have to do anything. You just call out to people to ask us shit.
Mailbag Revolutions? What is
Mailbag? Return of the bag. Not my mailbag.
Yeah, not my mailbag.
That is mine right
not
there.
your mother's mailbag.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. We can't. If you know, you know. But I don't even know how to explain it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
But these are fun. I hope they're entertaining. Do I like these as much as an interview? Maybe. Yeah,
I love nerding music with us. Yeah. The three of us having fun. This is old school roots. This is us getting back. And we've done that a couple times this year. We did Band Vantage 2, which I don't even know if it's out yet. It might come out before this. It might come out after this.
It's
we did
coming.
Last Track Magic 2. That's out there. We've done a few with it. Like, let's go back to the well on some of the old ideas we had and do it through the 2026 lens and are sounding better and being better at this.
Yeah, it's like demos with a major label, right? We're like revisit the vault.
5-year anniversary of Band Vantage with deep cuts and demos.
Well, like we've said actually recently on some interviews and stuff, like we'll never be in a band. Tony told me that ship has sailed for me in a past interview, which like
I'm sorry.
I've been bummed ever since you said that, but we're not in a band. So this is our Super Bowl to have these nights. But before we get to the mailbag, let's pretend we're in a band. So we saw the Offspring. How long is it? 35 anniversary? How long have they been a band?
At least 35 years. Yeah,
35
maybe longer. Yeah. Late 80s. So they're close to 40.
40 years. So they're doing a couple, it looks like one-off shows where the whole intent is to dial back the clock, do the old deep cuts, old shit. And they're calling out to fans to basically say, hey, what do you want to, like a poll, right? What do you want to hear? And it got us thinking, or got me thinking, got you guys thinking, if we were in their shoes, like 40 years in, what would we even do as a band? Would you create new music? Would you do the retro tours? Like, I don't even know what I would do.
At 40 years. So yeah, you have the retro or the anniversary tours are huge right now. Can't go wrong there. Cruises. I see a lot of bands doing cruises, whether it's right. If it's like their own headline thing, or if they're joining like some kind of cruise enterprise. Obviously, licensing your assets to not beyond merchandise. We've seen a lot of like alcohol and band collabs, cannabis collabs. coffee, even. It's crazy. It's like anything you can think
We're
of.
selling the catalog too, right?
Yeah.
Selling the catalog
Cash
is
it in.
massive right now. Yep. Who just did it?
There
David Lee
was
Roth.
somebody big too. Yeah. Who
David Lee
was it?
Roth from Van Halen, or formerly Van Halen, just sold his, and he's quoted as saying, "I finally feel rich," and it's just like, what? What? But you know, if you blow through your money,
Allegedly, we don't know if he did.
yeah, maybe he feels rich again, or I don't know. It's a lot of money, but yeah. What else can you do? I don't know.
Well, those all are good options and options we've seen bands do. And you're right. Like, do you write a new record when you've been writing records for however many years? I mean, there's so many studio records from The Offspring and many bands of their ilk that have been around for 30 plus years. It'd be fun to do something different. And those avenues have changed a ton in the last like 15 years, right? Where you get the cruises and you get the merch and or goods and services collabs, like Nate said, with the alcohol or sometimes clothes. Like there's all kinds of different things. There's worlds out there that would love to do the pair up with an established band like The Offspring, but instead they're gonna do the punk shows where they go back to their roots and play some of the old stuff. I don't know what that means because like Smash is old and they play some of Smash still. They don't play all of it. Maybe they're gonna play Killboy Powerhead instead of play fucking Self Esteem, but play Smash, guys. Play Nitro. Like those two songs fucking rule. But different story. But yeah, we could do any of those things. I don't know what we would do, but it's interesting that they're going this route. And there are a couple shows in Canada, and I know Nate's ready to go. Like he's already got his passport.
I want to go.
He's gassed the car up because if you gas it up now, it might be cheaper than it will be in 3 months. So just getting ready to do that, and I would do it. But we saw him in such a small venue. Like what? Geez. It was almost 14 years ago now, but
it's a while ago.
Seeing him at Hampton Beach, I'm like, do I need to go see him in a big? I saw him already in a smaller venue, which is way cooler. I don't know.
There's no silver bullet, I think, with any of it, because if you stay true to what you want to do as a band, a lot of bands of their ilk, we'll call it, will write new music, right? And a lot of fans, they may or may not be interested. Like people would rather hear the hits, right? So you can't win there, right? But then if you do the whole nostalgia thing, people think it's a cash grab. So you can't win. I think I just break up. If I'm 40.
But if the machine is still printing money, it's kind of hard to break up.
Can print
That's the hard part. That's the hard part about that. Like, we got to give them something. Maybe be a little more selective with shows at this point because you don't need it.
I think that's where I would go, actually. You're more selective with shows. You create demand, right? Control the supply, create the demand. And then, if the Offspring if they didn't play a show for like 2 years, they could headline Coachella.
Yeah.
It's like that move. Create scarcity.
Take 5 years off and then play Coachella.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually, because I can't remember what episode it was. It was a while ago when I was kind of calling out Gwen Stefani for doing like one No Doubt show, and then she would do like a string of like 15 solo shows. So that kind of scarcity thing has a lot of play. In fact, No Doubt was Coachella, so to your point exactly. And now they're doing a residency at the Sphere. It's like, so that demand is like, oh, if you want to see No Doubt, it's Sphere or bust. That's crazy. And at Offspring, I could see doing that too. It's just weird that like a ska band, both from SoCal, that to your point, Tone, like seeing these bands in clubs and theaters, and it's like, now I'm seeing it at the Sphere. Like, isn't that like a legacy type Dead & Co. U2 type thing? Like, No Doubt, really? But no, that's
Tool,
where we're at.
Tool is finally going to happen there, I think.
Tool makes sense for their whole production,
the visual,
but,
right?
Yeah, but again, seeing Tool and at the Whiskey and then seeing him at the Sphere as like a diehard fan must be a fucking trip. But that's another story.
Well, I mean, same thing with Offspring. You probably saw him at a tiny venue 35 years ago, and now then they released the biggest indie record of all time, and they've been massively successful since then. So it's like, well, now they're gonna go play these. They've been playing these big shows. The Smash 30 shows were huge. Just looking at the crowds and the social media output from that, they look massive.
Well, that was a one-off. I think I was going to go to that show too. I think we talked about it in the text. It was like 2019. One show in Irvine. I was like, I should go. My hesitancy to go was the fact that it was
Smash 30 was like 2 years ago.
Was it? I thought it was Stone SoCal. Maybe not.
94, right?
Oh, so maybe it was before the anniversary hit. But I remember I was still living in California.
That might have been 25.
Maybe it was 25. And I remember thinking, I would go to this, but it's at the Honda Center. Like, I'm all set, to see Smash front to back. Like, so.
Well, they played last summer. It was Offspring, Jimmy Eat World. Was it Newfound Glory? Like they can draw still.
Yeah. That's a triple bill, but yeah.
I don't know. I guess to close it out and dial it specifically to the Offspring. Hell yeah, do it. Do the punk shows. Do it all. Why not? If people want to see it, again, tickets these days are so expensive that if you're going, you want to be there. Like, you've made the choice to be there. There'll be enough demand for this.
Yeah, and I feel like that was the end of my text, right? Like, I'm like, take my money, I'm there, and then like scroll all the way down to my text. Probability 5%. I'm not actually going. I want to go.
Yeah. I'm there with you. Do what you want at this point because you can, and you've built up enough cachet over the 30 plus years of being a band and had the success you've had, and play them wherever you want. I'm a little surprised they're in Canada and not in SoCal where they're from, but maybe Dexter just wants to fly.
My one rule is, say we were in a band. Say the three of us have been in a band for 25 years, and 15 years from now when we're almost 60, as long as we're not a caricature of ourselves, like, at least, like, at that point you gotta bow out. I'm not saying that applies to anyone we've mentioned so far tonight, but that would be my like hard and fast rule. It's like, we could who's the guy, was it Frankie Valli? Is that
Yeah
Frankie Valli? Just play till you're 100.
But he enjoys doing it, even though he looks like a animatronic robot that they're propping up to do it. He still enjoys doing it. That's the
It
reporting.
looks like Chuck
anyway.
E. Cheese up there.
It's not great. No, I do feel for the guy. But if he really enjoys still doing it and it's keeping him going, more power to him too.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a takeaway. Do what you want, and but the three of us, we'd have to come up with a band name too. That'd be a tough part. But
yeah, start there.
Mark 182 wasn't that mentioned?
It was, and Lars 182. Yeah,
Anthony Eat World. Since you guys are both Anthony, I'm like oddball out.
I've never been Anthony. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Tony Eats World.
That actually kind of works.
Boy, hit Tony.
No, I don't want to be hit. Stop it. All right, mailbag. All
fire.
right, mailbag. Let's do this. Tony sets fire. Yeah, we can just put my name in all these. I'll come up with a few later. Mailbag. What do we got?
We got a bunch of stuff, and the way we catalog these, I don't think we have all the names or handles for the people that submitted them. So if we ask a question or we answer a question that you asked and we don't say who it's from, you'll know it's from you. And thank you for asking it.
Yeah, so let's lead off with somebody who we do know because he's given us one, I think, every time we've done a mailbag, and that's Mike in Texas.
Love a good Mike in Texas question. He gave two. Let's rattle those off.
First one. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of vocalists?
So vocalists is Mount Rushmore. You got to pick 4.
Are we all picking 4, or do we want to just throw a couple names and see who sticks?
All right, I'll throw 2. Zach from Raging Inside Out and Daryl from Glassjaw.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
Cornell.
Agreed so far.
Robert Plant.
Ooh,
Zeppelin.
wow. Solid.
Can you add one that would kick off one of those 4 names?
Oh, fuck.
Lance Daly?
I know you can. Like,
I mean,
Daryl's great, but he's not on the Rushmore of anyone's, I don't think.
I think he's pretty damn close, but yeah, I mean, obviously.
He's on mine.
We're doing house band, Chino Moreno, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So is he edging out? This is a draft now, this one, huh? He's edging out Daryl Palumbo.
Well, so here's the thing. Vocalist for us versus like vocalists, like Steve Perry all fucking time.
Oh,
right.
As far as voices go, there's some great voice. Freddie Mercury all fucking time. We've talked about them before. But like for us, yeah, those are a little more like we have loved the output, not necessarily because their singing chops are the best thing ever.
I'm thinking more of like a front man, like front person.
Yeah.
If it's just vocals, Steve Perry,
Mercury,
Robert
Plant,
Plant, and Daryl. Fuck them.
It's still Daryl.
Daryl's just right there.
Love it. So yeah, I guess we just gave you like 8, Mike. Sorry. We're not whittling it down. We want to keep it moving. We will answer your next question though. And your next question was, if you could only listen to the music from one United States region for the rest of your life, what are you picking? I already know what Anthony's picking.
Yeah, I know what Anthony's picking.
Long Island, Maine. No, Long Island, New York. You get all my faves, including Daryl. Mic drop.
I'm gonna go SoCal. There's so many good bands that came from SoCal. I can't go wrong. I mean, it would suck to lose out on some of the other Northeast bands and the Long Island bands that I love and the Midwest bands that I love, but I think I got to go SoCal.
And honestly, if I went like pound for pound, band by band, I would probably land there too, but I'm going to stick with Long Island.
Yeah. Southern California, dabbled with the Seattle or Pacific Northwest scene because there's a ton of good stuff there, past and present. Past, we obviously, Pearl Jam, that stuff. But there's the new scene there, the scene that has been growing there since, call it 2010s to present, are still strong scene there. Southern California. The cool thing about Southern California is you can actually add the Bay Area, because Bay Area is still not considered Northern California technically.
Like middle California. It doesn't count. You can't include the Bay Area. No, I'm saying no. I'm saying you can't take Third Eye Blind with you.
Oh, all right, fine. But yeah, Southern California for me too. There's just so much there, man. It's impossible to deny, but it's a massive fucking state, and it's a distillation of the music industry itself. So what do you expect?
Great questions, Mike. You are the mailbag question goat. I'm knighting you the mailbag question goat. All right, we'll keep it moving. What band from the current era would 16-year-old you love? Current band that's out now. So we can put some guardrails on this, like a band that came out in the last 10 years that 16-year-old you would be obsessed with.
Oh, that we didn't know about at that point.
That didn't exist. They didn't exist when you were 16, but if you 16-year-old you existed right now.
I'm going to pull one that's not even that big right now. And I think I've talked about him on here quite a bit, but I would be I think I would be a fan, maybe because I'm a fan now, but Kings of Leon, I'm just diehard for them. Diehard fan. So if they weren't around when we were 16, and now it's one of my favorite bands. I'm
going to go Super Heaven, like something like that, where they could have fit in the 90s that I would have loved, like true. Back then. Like that sound. I'm going to say Super Heaven.
Yeah. I'll say what I always say. Never mind. I love those guys. I listen to them all the time, and I'm bummed they're no longer doing it, because that's a record that's a band that I've listened to a shit ton since we first stumbled upon them with the podcast and had them on. So that's mine.
I agree, though. 16-year-old you would love Nevermind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It fits so many different things that I like about music. All right. Here's a good one. What's the most you had to be there concert moment you've ever experienced? I have one off the top of my head while you guys think about it.
Let it rip.
And I've talked about it on the podcast. It's been a long time, so there might be new people listening that have never heard the story. But my dad and I saw Bruce Springsteen at Gillette Stadium in 2008, and show was getting ready to start, and they make an announcement that we all need to get underneath the overhangs because weather's coming through, and we all get under the overhangs. The sky opens up, and every flash cheer, every bang cheer. It was like louder than any show I'd been to, because it was Mother Nature doing her thing, and everybody in the stands just losing their minds every time something happened or underneath the overhang. And we're all just kind of huddled underneath each other, just as close as we could be in this muggy August night, this massive thunderstorm rolling through. Maybe a half an hour later, Bruce comes out, place goes crazy. Just you couldn't recreate that, because I've never seen it before. I've never seen it again.
The thing is, the way you're describing it, like I can picture it, but I obviously didn't feel it. Like that's a you had to be there.
So wild.
I got one, and this one might surprise you. It might not. It's the second loudest show I've ever been to, and it was when I saw KRS-One at Oxbow Brewing in Portland, Maine, which is at the bottom of Munjoy Hill. It could have been the loudest show I've ever been to. The bass made your bones rattle. And I remember I went with our buddy Mike, and as soon as he came on, we looked at each other like, holy shit. Like, I can describe it a million times. You had to be there. You fucking had to be there.
You still feel it? You can probably still feel it.
Like, it almost to the point where, like, this probably isn't even safe for my body. And the fact that KRS-One, like, apparently this is like par for the course. Like, I guess all his shows are loud.
Really? That's interesting.
The irony is his mic, the PA couldn't go high enough. He kept having to crank it up, and at one point it maxed out. And it's like, dude, turn down the music.
Yeah, right. We still want to hear you.
Yeah.
Were you wearing your headphones, your earplugs? For that one?
I think so. This was probably 2019, 2018. So yeah, I was probably wearing them then.
Yeah, I can think of a shitload of shows from back in the state, like old State Theater days, when those shows used to rip. I remember when Shovel opened for Incubus, it was like way too fucking loud. They were coming off of an off Ozfest date, and clearly they didn't do sound check because it hurt. I was like, I want to fucking leave this show now because it's too loud, even though I love that band, Shovel, R.I.P. I don't think they're active.
You had to be there, and if you were, you would have left.
Yeah.
Too loud, man. Get me out of here.
But that wasn't the show I was going to mention. The show I was going to mention...
Of course not. I figured you also had more to say. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, just snuck one in there. I think it was Dave Grohl's 50th birthday party. I've talked about it on here before, way back in the early days of the pod. It was at the Forum in Los Angeles. It was kind of a surprise show they announced week of. I won the tickets on the radio, actually. I don't know how, but it worked. And went up there, saw Dave Grohl celebrate his own birthday party with the Foo Fighters, and every song he just brought out like another guest, like David Lee Roth and Gene Simmons, I think, came out. Lemmy from Motorhead came out before he passed away, and it just kept going, and we're gonna bring out this guy, and it was in the round too at the Forum. So like, I don't know, I haven't seen a whole lot of shows in the round. It's a special concert venue arrangement where it's in the center. It's basically like a setup for like a fight, right?
That's how you age as a band right there. That's how you keep it fresh.
Oh yeah, dude, it was cool.
Bring your friends. Bring the whole music industry with you.
Yeah, it was sick. That was you had to be there type moment because it was,
so
first of all, it was announced
only
week
SoCal
of.
Too, right? Like that can only happen in SoCal.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone drove down from their mansions to play the show.
All right, that's a good one. What's next one?
This is a fun one, and my guess is this is coming from someone who listens to us pretty regularly because we've made comments about albums that do just this. Here's a question. What album cover perfectly matches the sound of the album? And might be a weird one, and it shouldn't match, but it does. And part of it's just because this is how we associate this album with, the sound is the Blue Album by Weezer. That album sounds like that Blue. You can't escape it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So actually, this is a little tangent here. I saw a TikTok. You guys have probably seen it too. It's a guy opening a can of peanut butter, and the peanut butter cap is the same color as the Blue Album. And so he cut out a picture of the four band members and taped it to the inside of the cap. So when he unscrews the peanut butter cap, flips it over, it's fucking Rivers in the gang there with the music in the background.
That's fucking sick. Oh.
Is it one of those like internet things where they're like, you just got Weezered?
Pretty much. Yeah, it's that.
I love those. Those are always funny to me.
But yeah, that blue is ingrained in everyone's skull to the point that, next time if you buy that brand of peanut butter, all you're going to think is the fucking Weezer.
It was just added to the National Recording Archive, right?
Wow.
Do you guys see that online? Yeah. This is around the time that happened. Telling on us, I think it was just added to the National Recording Archive. And Pinkerton won't get there. So I rest my case. Blue is better than Pinkerton.
Till the tape comes to a close.
I've got one that fits this category perfectly. And it's a album that came out during the life of the podcast. And it's the album that got me into this band. And it was their
4
first.
Years Strong.
Nope. It was their first album in a million years. Surprise release. Nobody ever thought we'd get yet. Hum's Inlet.
Oh, yeah.
Does that not look like the sound of that record?
100%.
Yeah, it's like it could be a desolate photo of the desert. It could be fucking Mars. You don't even know.
Dude. And the timing of the release, it was like peak COVID, right? I think it was COVID.
Yeah.
I remember it was winter in
COVID.
San Diego and it was like really overcast all the time. Like there's a marine layer that comes through there. So I remember listening to that in headphones, looking at my phone, seeing the album cover and the artwork and my own atmosphere, which was like very marine layer dreary. I'm like, this is fucking a movie right now. Like, what the hell's going on?
Dude, Paul, that's perfect.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah.
That might be the mic drop right there, to be honest.
You got one, Nate, or one, and we can move on. Up to you.
I can't see the poster in your back, but the Green Day Dookie, for whatever reason, that fits.
Yeah,
that
it's
aligns.
so true.
It just aligns for some reason. It's punk enough, but it's got a lot going on. The album's got a lot going on. It's fucking chaotic as fuck. Yeah.
I love that.
Dookie.
That's a good call.
It's like mischievous. It's got it all going on.
It's got the comic book type Where's Waldo thing going on, and the songs are kind of scattered like that too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. I hadn't thought of that, even though it's been over my left shoulder here for the majority of the life of the last 4 years of the podcast, probably.
All right.
I got one that I think Nate, I'll love it, but Nate, you'll love it. And this person gave some examples, which is good. If you could bring back one dead music trend, what would it be? And in parentheses, they're like, example, hidden tracks, DVD documentaries, street teams. That made me think of you, Nate, street teams. One dead music trend, what would it be? A lot of them have come back, so there's not a ton to pull
Yeah.
from.
I mean, we try to bring the hidden track back. Try to keep the hidden track alive every week.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the 10-minute hidden track thing that was kind of prevalent with like the new metal scene. At least I'm thinking like Incubus Science, had PE, right? Self-titled had the secret track.
A bunch of bands did it.
Limp
I got one,
Bizkit
guys.
had one.
I got one.
What do you
ready
got?
for this?
Yep.
Interludes.
Oh yeah, interludes are sick.
I want
on the
interludes.
You can
Interludes
want
on-
interludes. I disagree, but I understand that you want them. It was always like a pain in the ass to buy a rap CD with 19 songs when there's only like 7 songs on it.
Well, that's where my head went. I think it was on the Joe Budden podcast recently where they were talking about like even a lot of classic rap albums, when you like get rid of the intro and the interludes, there's like not a ton of meat on the bone.
Yeah.
No, and then people wondered why the shows were short. It's like because there's only fucking 7 songs in the catalog.
It's a goddamn EP, guys. Bring back the interlude. I'm just kidding, guys. Interludes suck. No, bring
I
them
don't
back.
know. I like them. Well, because my head went right to Eminem because I was talking about Eminem earlier in our text. Yeah, maybe not those ones. Those are
Fred Durst on. Is that Chocolate Starfish?
Yeah.
Or is it Significant Other? I can't remember.
No, it's Chocolate Starfish.
What you're experiencing is in fact an interlude.
I forgot that existed.
West Borland's riff.
Sometimes they do well. I don't mind when records have like not necessarily a different song on the same track, but something that just kind of like leads into the next thing. That can be fun. So yeah, maybe I'm not completely anti-interlude, Anthony.
I think I said they were dope because I was thinking of like Eminem and Dr. Dre, where like without it, you don't have the whole story. Or the way they did that was very much part of the production style. So I thought it was cool.
100%.
You know,
like on the Chronic, like
Eminem.
Yeah, some of them they work. They tell a story. And if they tell a story and they're part of the story, I'm in.
Although, was it Marshall Mathers LP with the Ken Kniff skit? I could have done without that.
And he kept coming back.
Yeah. What about you, Tone? Anything you'd bring back?
I did say hidden tracks. I wish we could still like the day of the samplers was cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do miss going to the record store and having just like a box of different record label samplers just sitting there. And I mean, I have a ton of them. Bringing them home, putting them in the car, listening through them, finding 3 bands I liked, and digging into those worlds. I do miss that way of music discovery.
I think that's probably my favorite one. The sampler.
That's a good
and
one.
even all like the labels had them. Like the Warped Tour ones, the Atticus ones, and those are like a lot of the pay ones. But the free ones you get at like
Monitor
Warped
this
Tour and shit. Monitor this.
Yeah.
In
So
your
many good
ear.
ones. I do miss that. I do miss that piece of it, and I wish we could do more of that. I wish that was the way music was. Because like you're gonna pick up a record label, or even maybe it's just a compilation that somebody put together, multiple labels, whatever, and you put it on in your car, and you like there's 15 songs on it, and if I like 4 of them, like that was worth it. Even if I paid a couple bucks for it, I figured out that I liked 4 new bands, and then I just go off to the races. And next time I'm at Bull Moose, I'm looking through those bands sections and trying to find a record I might like, and boom, fan.
Good question. Let's keep it rolling. This one's a podcasting question.
Ooh, okay.
What's something about podcasting that people would never realize unless they did it themselves? Shitload.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
I was gonna say, with your intro tone, it kind of put me in that holy shit, that is how it is. Where like the episode is either gonna come before or after this episode that we're recording currently, because there's just so much going on. We're like in real time. Haven't said that in a while. We're talking about stuff retroactively and proactively all simultaneously. So that's quite a bit. Additional to that is talking to a band and asking questions, and then you have something that kind of comes to mind on the spot, and you have to find a way to kind of segue that question that you really want. You would rather have that question than the one that you didn't quite rehearse. I wouldn't say we like rehearse our questions, but we definitely kind of feel prepared. But there's just some stuff that just like comes to you in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, all right, how can I splice this in? We're like 20 minutes in, but this can fit somewhere eventually. Hopefully, if not, then I'll just let it fly.
Yeah, the art of interviewing is there's no playbook for any of it. Everyone answers differently.
Different personalities.
People give short answers. People give long answers. Some people are tough to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I would say I would echo what you first said, Nate, which was how many things you're juggling at the same time, right? You're at any given time, we are either coming up with ideas for episodes or sourcing guests. Once you land the guest, then it's all right. You have to craft an interview. Like we don't go into these blind. We have general playbook, and then you got to if you want people to listen to it, you got to promote it. Then there's the whole you're a podcaster. Well, you also have to be a social media guy or gal. You have to be an audio engineer. You have to be a graphic designer. You have to be your own PR person, right? So when we started this, we had no clue. We had no freaking clue.
Oh man, no.
Well, and if you want it to be good, you need to be all those things in 2026
Right.
because otherwise no one's going to hear it or see it because no one will ever know that it existed. And if like you put out a shitty graphic or you don't prepare yourself for interviews and have like legit questions or ways to get conversations going, and learning how to do that was hard. It is hard. It still happens. Still, I'm like, oh man, it's a tough one. We're having a tough time, cracking somebody. But if you listen to us with any regularity, I think you can hear that part has gotten really good. I think we're actually really good at it. And we make it a way more conversational than we did early on with the question answer type thing because we didn't know what we were doing. And to do anything well, you gotta do it. You gotta practice at it. You gotta get reps. You gotta talk to people. You gotta jump in. And I'm so happy we did that because we're 6.5 years into this thing and we've had some amazing conversations and experiences surrounding this podcast. So it's worth it. But yeah, it's work. It's real work. And we appreciate anybody that listens to it because we put a lot of time into it.
There's another one that kind of piggybacks off this. And I don't know, it might have been from the same person, but it says, what's the hardest part about keeping a podcast going long term?
Damn, that's a loaded question.
Well, 300 and I don't know what episode this is, and we may have taken a break before this comes out. Who knows? But it hadn't happened at this point. We've not taken a break yet. We have, as of today, 323. We're I think to 325 in the can that are done and in a row, more than likely. So that's a lot of weeks in a row. That's not it's stick to itiveness. It's grinding. It's
stick to it. Yep.
You have to like do all the work that we mentioned before and be ready for the next week, be ready for the week after, and be ready for the week after that. Do we need to take a week off? Probably should at some point. It might be around a holiday. 100%. Who knows? We do try to, like, this is recorded. Who knows when this will drop, like I said, but it's recorded early so that we have it, so that if we want to go a couple of weeks without doing something, we can. So that's a big piece too, is trying to figure out how can I batch some stuff together so that we have a week off in July when it's nice out.
Well, we do it because it's fun, but also if you push it, there's burnout, and I think that's why we love weaving in weeks like this where, we'll create some graphic for this episode, but we don't, we're not hunting down a photographer to get approval, get their blessing. We're not, anytime we have an interview, we do meet before, so it's like a, pre-prod. For this, it's just show up. We didn't prep at all for this. It's just, this is a fun night. So
you guys gave us this. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, I would say the hardest part is, it's obvious, but it's the consistency, and it's a choice, But we'll see. We'll keep it going, and as long as we can.
All right, I got one. Which artist or group has the weirdest fan base in relation to their actual music?
Oh wow, that's a really good question.
You said weirdest?
Yeah. I mean, no shade. Maybe weird is not necessarily the right word, but most interesting.
Okay.
Which artist or group has the most interesting fan base? Because I don't want to throw shade, because we're fans of a lot of different music and like a lot of different artists. So no shade to anybody that likes something and is weird because of it. You know what I mean?
Right on.
There's nothing wrong with that. So which artist has the most interesting fan base in relation to their music?
Well, it's funny. Like I was thinking like weird is kind of a sensitive word, but also was thinking if it is truly weird is the question, then it kind of puts me straight into like that type of music. Weird because the music is proudly weird, like the Flaming Lips, like they're weird, and that's the whole brand, right? But if it's weird, if it's not weird as like a condescending word, it's more like you said, interesting fan base based on the music and the context and their optics or whatever. God, there's a ton. I would say maybe Fish, has a very interesting and unique fan base. I love the band.
Similar jam bands in general, really, but Fish and the Dead are probably two of the big ones.
I was going to say jam bands. Jam bands. And the reason is, and I'm going to shout out Brian Fair from Shadows Fall.
Right on.
He kind of turned us on. I mean, maybe you guys were into those bands before the pod, but I wasn't, just because I hadn't been exposed to them. But he showed us songs where they go hard, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he emailed us a couple, didn't he?
He did. He emailed us some clips where they go hard. So, like, on one hand, you have, this cult following, Fall Them to the End of the Earth. And, obviously they're, love to be in the zone when they watch it. But then on the other hand, they go hard in spots. So I think that's cool. And I think it's a cool fan base in general.
They're usually pretty chill.
Hopefully, I captured the spirit of your question with that answer.
The episode of South Park where they have a jam fest and Cartman hates hippies and it's like a zombie. It's a great episode of South Park I've ever seen. It's years ago, but it's one of the better South Park episodes. It's kind of like Armageddon meets like a zombie apocalypse, but it's just a jam band shows up and starts playing, and then the crowd just gets too big and it overruns the town, and Cartman has to save him. It's pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna go with the Juggalos, and this is no shade on the Juggalos.
Oh, good answer.
Because I think having that amount of community around your band is amazing, and the fact that they have fests and they get together and they drink the Faygo and the whole 9 yards, I think is pretty fucking amazing. But it's an interesting group, right? They're interesting.
100%. Well, it's funny if you look at the gathering of the Juggalos, the lineups over the years, like you'll be fascinated by the range of artists they bring in.
Yeah, it's a cool community. This is no knock on them.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was one, actually.
I was gonna say there is no shade. It's just a different flavor. Like we're big Slipknot fans. Like we're maggots, right? That's a whole culture based on Pulse of the Maggots, like that whole metal, diehard Slipknot fans, and then the fish heads, and like you said, the ICP crew with what are they called again?
Juggalos.
Juggalos, yeah. So
don't act like you don't know that. Where did that come from?
I know. I'm acting like I don't know.
You knew that. Come on, be a nerd. Nerd sees nerd trying to pretend he's not a nerd right now. I don't like that.
No, I'm advocating for the word weird, which translated more into unique.
Unique or interesting. They both work.
Yeah. So I'm with you.
One thing, and we can move on from this question. One thing of like these fans of these cult, we'll call them cult bands, like the Juggalos, the Maggots, Slipknot, the jam bands. If they weren't as into that band as they are, I wonder if that would have translated to a different band. Because a lot of times it's like the first heavy band you ever hear. Like a lot of people with Slipknot, like that was intro to that music. With ICP, they are truly kind of one of a kind with the sound too.
Mm-hmm.
But
fucking magnets, man. How do they work?
Good question. Thanks for asking it.
That's the next question. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Faygo right now.
I know, right?
I got one here. And I like this question. What's the most random opener you've ever seen become huge later? I have one that it's not random in sound, but maybe random in aesthetic. So in 2003, I think it was, I think we're all there. We saw Thrice, Story of the Year.
My Chem and The Used.
And The Used. My Chem. Aesthetically, sound-wise, they're in that pocket, but aesthetically, they were not really, right? They're not in that. They became the biggest band on the planet. Would you have ever known that from watching that performance? Not a chance in hell.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
So that's why it's not random and seen, but like they even back then used darker imagery, and I forget the I Brought You makeup. Bullets.
Yeah.
What's the album? I Brought You Bullets. Like it's a darker thing. It's like almost like an ink and dagger like playoff. But they became the biggest band on the planet out of this scene. So that's cool. That's like a resume builder show. Like I saw Mike Chem, and
I've got one, and I don't think I saw the opener, but they were at a local establishment not far from the State Theater before the show. We saw AWOL Nation at the State Theater, and the opener that night, Imagine Fucking Dragons.
Oh damn! That's crazy. Yeah.
And then obviously they became massive.
That fits this question perfect. Yeah.
Talked to the drummer in the establishment before the show for like 5 minutes because Rob knew him, had met him before, and then they became absolutely massive. This is pre-Radioactive and all of the other songs that I'm a huge fan of the band, but they did become absolutely huge for a stretch there after opening for AWOL Nation on that run.
Yeah, there was an era there where these bands were just coming up, and now they're just household names. I think one that comes to mind for me, similar era, might have been the same year even. 30 Seconds to Mars opened for Chevelle, the State Theater. I want to call it was like 03 maybe?
Yeah, 03 I think.
And I remember thinking not thinking they should be huge already, but it was one of those like situations where you have like a band member from a former massive band that's now in this band that's tiny that you think like, well, isn't that a head start enough for them to just go headline? And no, it's not. So Jared Leto, right, from is an actor by trade, but has 30 Seconds to Mars, but they were like, I think they were like support. I think it was like 30 seconds.
They opened.
Yeah, 30 Seconds to Mars,
sense.
someone, and then Chevelle after. I think it might have been Cedar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they were like support.
Nonpoint, no. Nonpoint played with Papa Roach, I think. Yeah, but you're right. They were down on the bill. They were early in the show.
Yeah, and it was like no big deal, you know? I don't even know if Jared Leto was really as world renowned as an actor. Maybe at that point he had done a lot of films, but now
he was. Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty sure.
I think he was just getting into the music aspect, but then the band, they got pretty fucking big, right? I mean, they outkicked Chevelle at one point, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, I mean, 30 Seconds to Mars, you know, has their own festival, I think, too. They play stadiums, or at least arenas. But yeah, I didn't see that coming. And I don't think they were promoted that well early on. That might have been part of it. No shade on their record label, but
probably we're just like, oh, this is just another passion play by somebody trying to break into another scene. And oh wait, they're actually pretty good. They got kind of big.
Yeah, it's like, Jared, stick to American Psycho and Fight Club, bro.
That was a good one.
This one might be fun. What's a music opinion you have that would get you absolutely cooked online?
Depends on where online nowadays, right?
I would just say maybe a surprising opinion. Maybe we'll boil it down to that because, yeah, exactly. Some pockets, like the first one that comes to mind, and I think I mentioned this on the pod, you know, our name is a playoff on Audio Slave. I was never really a big fan. You know, that would get me cooked in like that world. Other people would be like, yeah, I don't like them either. But maybe that's a surprising take for anyone that's listening to the pod. Maybe not. I'd much prefer the bands they came from. I think everyone would.
Well, yeah.
Of course. I mean, that's not a very edgy opinion, but I haven't put on an album of theirs in 20 years. Maybe with the pod I did. I can't remember, but
the first record is all fucking time. But after that, I like songs from the records. I don't like the whole record.
Yeah. So hopefully, whoever asked this, hopefully that kind of fits the spirit of the question. What
would get me cooked online? Man.
Sleep Token?
Yeah, it happened. And I was just making it. We were just making it was a conspiracy theory thing. We were just having fun. Yeah. If you put anything about Sleep Token out there, you're going to get cooked one way or the other. So they're very divisive. Same with Greta Van Fleet. Very divisive band on the internet.
Yeah.
So if you said you liked them, they'd be like, how could you like that? If you said they're terrible, they'd be like, oh, he can sing. What's wrong with you? Like, you can't win.
Here's something that would get myself cooked from this pod, or maybe not, is the fact that I think the old me used to think backtracking in a live setting, we call it show magic, is absolute horseshit and garbage and you shouldn't perform. I take that back now, you know, being 41 and saying if you really love doing the shows, you love touring, you just can't hit the notes and you just want to be out there and you need a voice track, go for it. But I feel like there should be a little more transparency about it, but that's a whole another story. And I could get cooked for that because as a truther, I would prefer someone like, if we're talking about Audio Slave, rest in peace, Chris Cornell. If you can't hit those notes anymore, I don't fucking blame you, man. How the fuck are you able to do it for that long in the first place? So if you have a backtrack and you got to go up there and have a backtrack to reach those notes to sing like peak Soundgarden songs, it's a little disheartening, but at the same time, it's understandable, man. You can't do that.
Let me guess. Next thing you're going to say is you love the steroid era of Major League Baseball. Mark McGwire in the late 90s was my favorite.
Sammy Sosa? Oh, dude, that shit was hilarious.
I'm with you. And this kind of gets back to the topic we started to talk about. It's like,
yeah,
as a band navigating your late stage, how do you do it? Man, that's tough. I mean, that's the thing about modern metalcore bands is it's all backtracks. They're, you know, puppets up there because a lot of them have all the synth and stuff, and naturally that has to come from backtrack. But I don't know, the show magic that might get you cooked, man. That's a good answer, Nate.
It's like I don't want to say it because maybe it's because of working in the industry a little bit. Like, you know what's happening with sound check or whatever, and you're like, oh, he's not fucking singing right now. Or we've seen those videos on YouTube where like someone falls off the stage and the song continues, and it's kind of like, you know,
Ashley Simpson.
Yeah, the Ashley Simpson thing's crazy. That's
the Ashley Simpson thing versus a band being, you know, 35 years in and still wanting to do it are vastly different. She was forced down everybody's throats because she was the sister of another singer, and she probably couldn't sing to begin with, and that's part of the problem. That was manufactured, and that wanting backtracking for people who aren't talented, I'm out on.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah, I like that. Sorry, Nate, I cut you off with my Ashley Simpson.
No, I actually watched that clip like a week ago, ironically.
Random.
Yeah, just random. I don't know why.
But that's a good call. I think you would get cooked by a certain aspect of person, but I understand we're still in the game. We're not doing it for everything, but there are some spots that we might need a little bit of help. And maybe, especially if you're in a big stage production and like you can kind of hide it. I get it. But I do like the rawness of live and the realness of live. So I'm going to cook you. Bad take, bro.
It's a tough one. I don't want to walk it back, but I have to kind of walk it back. Is the other side of that coin is you just don't reach the notes and you sing to your level. I'm going to call it Eddie Vedder right now. He doesn't do the high highs, so he just goes like 4 steps down, and he still sings the song, and he doesn't do a backtrack from what I've heard. And I think that's respectable because it's like he's actually not going to cheat. He's just going to not sing it. And
that's just who
like,
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like turning each other like, oh fuck, you can't reach those notes anymore. Kind of like sad, but that's better than oh shit, he tripped, and all of a sudden there's this track at hitting it at 1991 vocal
range. It is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't lie to the consumer. We get a little upset.
Exactly.
As I mean, most of the world right now is a little upset with being lied to as consumers.
Right.
Tour magic. I get a fun one, and it's about the podcast, so it tells me that it's from someone who listens to us a lot. So, question is, what's your favorite inside joke or recurring bit from the podcast over the years? I know mine. Hands down. I know what it is.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, give it here.
Yeah, what do you got, Twan?
Nate being a Kerrang subscriber. Like it is.
This is a good one.
One, the fact that it happened, and I've seen receipts, like just the fact that you had one, like it was rare. The fact that you mentioned it so many times.
Yeah.
And the fact that we made it a bit. Like it all aligns. It's my favorite.
It is a good one. It is a good one.
And the fact that you still have that subscription now.
Oh my God, I wish, dude.
I'm a digital only.
I think they probably are digital only at this point.
Yeah.
That's mine.
I feel like we've done this question before, but it's always nice to check in on it because like a couple of years or a year has passed, 2 years has passed since we've answered it, and new things come to light, right? Like call it, Nate saying call it a million times, and now Anthony now saying call it a bunch of times. Like that's all I hear out of the both of them is call it. As the one who edits it, I hear all of it a couple of times, so that's part of the problem.
Yep.
Call it an inside joke. Yeah.
I do love whenever in real time is brought up, especially in an interview and especially by somebody we're talking to that doesn't know the joke. I'll look up at the screen and make faces at you guys.
Oh, dude, we're all laughing, or we're holding in a laugh at least. Like,
that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah, when in real time happens. And I mean, we ended up obviously making a little mini series out of in real times and did that for a little while on Fridays, but it's still funny to me, especially when it comes up organically and it's just said by somebody we're interviewing and they have no idea the history of it, and I just like make a face at the screen at you guys, and I know you know what I'm thinking, and that makes me laugh.
That was literally the one I was going to bring up because it is funny, and even when I'm not on the pod and listen and I hear a guest say in real time, I like laugh in the car. I'm like, he doesn't know, but there's a thing about that in real time
it's
thing.
So much fun. It's you gotta have the inside jokes and have the fun around it, or it's not worth doing, right?
Yep.
All right, where are we at? We want to do one or two more?
Yeah, I think we had a couple in us.
You're stuck on a 10-hour road trip, and you can only listen to one artist's discography the entire time. Who are you picking? I have a question for you guys first. Do live albums count as part of the discography, or do they have to all be studio albums?
Yeah, I think you can listen to them. They count. Actually, can you repeat anything, or does it have to be 10 hours of different music?
I think you're just stuck with your discography, is my guess here.
You can listen to the same. Okay.
Great question. I hadn't. 10 hours is a long time, right? Like if it's 4 hours, you could certainly rifle through someone's discography if they got 4 records or 5 records and maybe listen to a couple of them twice. But 10 is a long time. If they've got 5 30-minute studio albums, 35-minute studio albums, you're going to be listening to things twice. So it could be tough.
Gut answer, I'm going to go with Deftones because of the range, right? And you can see the evolution over time. How many albums is that for them? 10?
10 or 11, right?
10 or 11. So you could almost get through the whole 10 hours with all new music. You throw in the covers album, you throw in, was it Black Pony, Black Stallion, all that stuff.
B-sides and rarities.
B-sides and rarities, and it's all good. Like it's all good shit. So I would say that. The other one that came to mind was like Third Eye Blind, something like that.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a good one too. There's a lot there with them. So I'm gonna go Tom Petty, especially with the live aspect, because the live anthology alone will get you through half the drive. And if you want to just like listen to a concert, and he's got other live records too, and then you could just play Wildflowers or play, whatever you want, play Damn the Torpedoes and listen to those songs in their studio form too. But I think Petty's always been a road trip guy for me anyway. So I'm going to go Tom Petty.
Good answers on both. And I'm happy you brought up the live record thing, because I immediately went to one artist, which I'm a legacy fan of, Pearl Jam. And I used to subscribe to Sirius XM, and they have Pearl Jam radio, and they have like parts of the day where they just play live shows. I don't have the subscription anymore, so I don't know what it's called. But those shows, especially in their heyday, like in terms of playing marathon shows, didn't really end until 2019, maybe. They were playing like 3-hour shows, like consistently, 3.5-hour shows, like Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. So for me, like I almost rarely put in a Pearl Jam record these days and just play those live records. So like you could play 3 shows, and that whole road trip is completed in that, call it 10-hour span. And it's not just the music too. Like you get all the banter with Eddie Vedder. You tell stories about the songs, about the city he's in. You talk, you'll put it in a bootleg
Yells to Tom Petty in the Gorge one.
Yeah, that, or playing places in like South America where he'll speak in the native language. It's fucking rad. Or talk about the history, or like the Boston bootlegs. I have one from like the garden that we went to, and he's like, "Oh man, I remember playing the Axis, and I remember playing the Orpheum, and I remember playing. Now we're at the Garden, and hopefully we'll play Fenway someday." It's like, that's fucking cool, because he's really speaking to the fan on a
snapshot in time,
very direct level. So yeah, I think it would be, because of the live question you asked, I think it's an easy Pearl Jam one for me.
Yeah, because it's different for every live show too, which is fun.
Back then, especially this last run for the most recent release, they kind of had a somewhat set list, set song list, because it was a production thing. It was the first time they've done it, from what I remember. And they would sprinkle in some songs like to switch it up. But it's not like, up until then, it was the 3-hour shows, different set list every single night, kind of like the jam band thing.
Love it. I get a good one to close this out. We doing one more?
Yeah, let's go.
And this might inspire us for future episodes. I like this question. What's one episode topic you can't believe you still haven't done? So I'm going to say this could be topic. This could be band, talking about a band. This could be a band to have on the podcast for an interview. Because, like, who was it recently that was like, how haven't we talked about this band until now?
Who was that? Was it in DM with somebody? I can't even remember.
No, it was a full episode we did recently about a band. I'm looking. Well, Our Lady Peace, talk about them a little bit. Someone like that.
Yeah, it's just tough for me because I feel like we've done a lot of things, and I'm not sure we've ever been like, shit, we haven't done that yet. Very often it does come up, but it's also like interspersed with requests to talk to bands or us requesting bands on, and that the kind of the rat race has made my brain go mush.
No kidding.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know what to do to keep it going. I keep the pod stuff going, but I'm also like, they happen, and I have to listen to them to remember some of the stuff that we talked about, at least some of the old stuff. I can remember we had somebody on. I remember how awesome the conversations were, and oftentimes things will happen that will jog my memory about that stuff. But remembering, like, why haven't we done this yet? Is still Rage was the obvious one, but then we did Evil Empire because it turned 30.
Yeah, that was one that came to mind too.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I was going to say, if it relates to guests, it's just the fact that they're either impossible to get, they don't do press, or they didn't get back to us yet. So that's specific to like an interview. In terms of like topic or subject matter, we have a whole doc, right, of things that we haven't done yet. And it's not necessarily like, why haven't we done that necessarily? It's just we haven't gotten to it yet. And there's a lot of gold in there.
Yeah, like Chino looking like your cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's an inside joke too. Sorry.
That's an inside joke.
That's an inside joke.
2 things. One, to piggyback on, like, if you listen to us, you know the range of music we like, and there's probably artists you're like, why haven't they? They'd be perfect. Best believe we've tried. I guarantee you we've tried.
Yeah.
And, we're not the biggest podcast in the world. We're not the smallest. We're not the biggest. So, yeah, there's some that it doesn't make sense for them to come on with us. But as far as a band, we're probably never going to get a member of this band on. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But as far as an episode dedicated to this band, how we haven't done it, I have no fucking clue. Pearl Jam. Have we ever done anything Pearl Jam?
A full episode? No.
No.
How?
We talked about Gigaton when it came out on the 3rd episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
and
just
Lance
talking about the
Mercer
record.
in that
Yeah.
camp.
We had Lance. Yeah.
But like an actual episode about that band hasn't happened.
Well, Nate, pick a record and there'll be a deep dive for us here in the near future.
Nice. We'll cross it off our own. Why haven't we done this list?
You have to pick it up. Pick it though. You are the resident Pearl Jam nerd. You're wearing a Pearl Jam hat
I'm
right
wearing a
now.
hat. I've already talked about
in
him.
front of
We've been
our
talking about
faces.
Talking about him all night tonight. Yeah, I am down for that. Let's do it.
There you have it. If I have one that I could throw at you guys. No, let's not. We'll call it. I was gonna say give us a. I just said call it. Fuck.
I
Now we're all doing
say,
it.
in different context.
I was gonna say let's do another one, but let's not. Let's leave it there because we would keep going on that one too. Yeah, that was it. That was fun. That was a blast. Always like doing the mailbag. Appreciate everybody throwing us questions. Appreciate anybody listening. Like we said early in the episode, it's a labor of love, and we put a lot of work into this thing to make it sound good every week and to come up with stuff every week. And if you're here listening to it still, thank you. Or even if it's your first time.
First time, long time. Last time, first time. I don't give a shit. Thank you. Mic drop.
Yeah, it's been real. Mailbag's always fun. It's like introspective geeking. And until next time, cheers.
Peace, podheads.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Podio Slave. We are at Podio Slave on X, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. It's at Podio Slave. We are Podio Slave Podcasts on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. If you want to contact us, hit us up at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you've got a minute, leave us a review. Tell a friend. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you. Recording in progress. Do you guys hear that or just me?
I hear it.
I hear it. I love it.
Yeah, recording in progress. Thanks, lady. I've tried to find that to put it at the end or the start or whatever, and I can't find it online. So this is a deep cut. This is I've already got us an Easter egg.
There you go.
The time and temperature, lady.
At the tone, the time will be 7:45.
What was that? I can't remember.
7754321.
Yeah, that was it, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I was like
7754321. 207775432.
Oh, I don't remember the jingle. There was a jingle.
No, I just made that shit up. There was no jingle.
I remember there was a big emphasis on downtown. It was downtown temperature. Like for
It was
some
so
reason,
loud.
really digs into it. Downtown temperature. Like okay.
Yeah,
At the
relax,
tone, the
relax,
time will
lady.
be 5.
7:32 and 12 seconds.
Downtown temperature 85.
That's tomorrow. Yeah, that's tomorrow. 85.
Anyways.
All right. Ready?
Main lore.